All right, so today we are talking about the Toronto Maple Leafs, who are in a big season, I think. And again, we say this every single year, so you can take that with what you will, but this does feel like a pretty big year. There are players coming off the books. There is a possibility of this team tearing it down in the offseason. The president's job may be on the line. There's a lot of things that are going into this season, and if it ends in another first round exit, I don't know. I don't really like their odds. So they have clinched the playoff spot, by the way. They clinched it like last week, so I'm a little bit late to this. I'm catching up on videos. They have a record of 47, 26, and 4 for 98 points. They are fifth in the NHL with a .645 points percentage. They have scored 250 goals. They have allowed 221 for a plus 29 difference. They are 25, 13, and 1 at home, and they are 22, 13, and 3 on the road. So overall, a good season from Toronto. I think overall, the general perspective of the year, they have played well in games. However, there have been points where there have been some big struggles, and it feels like they go through a whole week or a whole month of these kind of struggles. And to be honest with you, I think a lot of it, and I want Toronto fans to hear me out here first. I feel like a lot of the things that go on in Toronto, the bad is more pointed out than the good. The bad is put under a greater lens than the good is. Like, let's say the Maple Leafs go on a 3-game winning streak. Cool. Yeah, they're on a 3-game winning streak. I don't think really anybody's talking about it. When the Leafs go on a 3 or 4-game losing streak, it's really highlighted under a big lens, not just in Toronto media, but in the entire NHL, because that is the big team right there. That is the team that everybody loves to make fun of. It's the team in a sense where everybody just, clowns on them when they lose in the first round. It's the most popular team in the league, no doubt. And that's why things are put under a greater lens there, especially when team or player is struggling. It's a big thing. However, I do think that there are problems with this team. I am not denying that whatsoever. But I do think this team is still a very good team, and I still match them up very well against Florida and Tampa Bay and Ottawa or whoever they play in the first round. I still believe that. So let's get into the individual scores here, starting off with Mitch Marner, who has played 76 games played this year, 24 goals, 70 assists for 94 points. He has been just a terrific player throughout his entire career, and this year has been another awesome year. Again, he has a breakout season, or he has a career season is what I should say. And he might reach 100 points. I think he's going to reach his career high. I still don't think he's reached 100 points. He might have, but I think Marner might get up to 98, 99 points. He might just finish just outside of it, but he's had a very good season. I don't think anybody should really kind of discredit that whatsoever. He's been a good player this year. If you even asked a few months ago before other players really started running away with the Hart race, Mitch Marner was in there, and he was somebody that was really talked about as being a Hart contender, and obviously now you see the way things have played out. Didn't turn that way. William Nylander, second in scoring, 77 games played, 44 goals, which is first on the team, 38 assists for 82 points. Nylander has been phenomenal in terms of scoring. I think he's second in the league in goals. The guy scores at an insane rate, and we know that Nylander can do that. So overall, just Nylander's had an amazing year, and there's really no doubt that he's going to be just a star. And it's always somebody, he's always one of the players who really shows up in the playoffs. That's always been what William Nylander's been known for. Austin Matthews, 62 games played, 30 goals, 41 assists for 71 points. Matthews, he's played significantly lesser games than everybody else. Again, he's only played 62, but he's still above a point per game. He has 30 goals even still, 40 assists. This guy is an incredibly talented player. He is one of the best in the NHL. Do I think his stock took a hit? Sure. But I think players with injuries, all of them usually take a hit, unless if you're McDavid. But to be honest, I still think with how many games he's missed this year, having to travel to Germany and all that, and having the concerns with injury, and it's still there. It still very well is there. And I've seen, with Ovechkin breaking the goal record the other day, I've heard a lot of people say that Matthews could break the goal record. I would love to see that happen, but I'm a little bit concerned in terms of his health. I don't know if his health can sustain him for as long as he needs to break the record. I think he still can if he gets healthy and keeps playing the way he can, but again, I really don't know, to be honest with you guys. We'll have to see what comes of that with Matthews and if he's going to stay healthy consistently. John Tavares next up then, 70 games played, 37 goals, 34 assists, 71 points. Tavares nearly a 40 goal scorer. He's like second in goals on this team. I think it is hard. It's pretty hard looking at the regular season and how he's been with this team this year to let him go. It's going to be really difficult. Do I think he takes a pay cut? Most definitely. If he gets paid the same amount or more, I think that would be a colossal failure by Toronto. I think it's all the signs point to him getting paid less, but he's had a good year. Like, he's a point per game even still at this point in his career. It's remarkable how Tavares has been, and nearly a 40 goal scorer is impressive. Can he do it in the playoffs? So that's the biggest question. And again, like, they have so many guys they got to sign in the offseason. Like, Marner's got to get signed to probably a big contract, and Tavares as well. But also Matthew Nye, 73 games played, 26 goals, 26 assists for 52 points. I've liked Nye this year, has been a very talented player. And again, you see the way that he can score and move the puck with the physicality to his game as well. He is that perfect player by all perspectives. Again, those three players are your biggest names heading into this offseason that need to be signed. And I wonder, they should be able to keep all of them, but outside of like that, like doing other free agency moves, I don't know, to be honest with you. So we'll have to see there what happens with that. Again, I think it all depends on the playoffs. Like, if they lose in the first round again, especially if it's to Ottawa, I think there's a good chance we're going to see some changes. Maybe not with the players yet, but maybe the front office. But again, it's been like 9 years of this, losing in the first round every single year for the past like 10 years, except for one. Doesn't bode well. So we'll see. But Matthew Nye is there at fifth. Morgan Riley, and this is a interesting discussion about the Leafs blue line. 77 games played, 7 goals, 30 assists for 37 points. Riley, definitely there's some questions there because this year has been a rough year for Morgan Riley in terms of his overall two-way play. Defensively, he's not so sound as he once was. Again, he's had multiple partners throughout his career, and really none of them have been able to make him a better player. So I really do wonder if we're going to see down the road. Like, he's on a big contract that he signed at the beginning of 21-22. I would not be shocked if we see Morgan Riley, from any stretch of the imagination, get moved on from here in Toronto at some point. Again, I'm not saying that it will happen. I'm saying that it could happen. I really don't know. Morgan Riley, I still think, is a very solid defenseman. But the thing is, this is the best Maple Leaf defense core they have had the entire time. The entire way through the Matthews era and in a very long time as well. And Riley's been through all of it. You know, you look at the overall top four of Brandon Carlo, Chris Tanev, Jake McCabe, and Morgan Riley. This is by far the best defensive tandem they have had in the Matthews era, and we'll see how it plays out. Bobby McMann, 7th in scoring, 69 games played, 20 goals, 13 assists, 33 points. There has not really been any question of McMahon scoring. He's obviously always been a very consistent 20-goal guy since being a star in 22-23, so I got to give credit to McMahon. And then Max Domi, 69 games played, 8 goals, 23 assists, 31 points. I think you would love some more secondary scoring than having Max Domi in your top 10, but I still don't think he's bad. I'm not discrediting anything that Max Domi has done with Toronto. So yeah, Max Domi at 8 there. And then the goaltenders. The tandem, I really do think, has been one of the bigger strong suits for Toronto this year. And I will say this again, this might be the best tandem Toronto has had in the Matthews era. So you're looking at that there. You have one of the better decors you've had. You've had one of the better goaltending tandems you've had. Maybe they actually go in here and they do something. Joseph Woll really took a big step this year. Again, the last couple of years, he's been, denied by Samsonov and other goalies to really get that starting position. This year, he kind of finally takes a hold of that, sort of. 25, 13, and 1, a 2.78 and a .906. He's been great. Again, there's really no question there about Joseph Woll. One of the biggest things that people have criticized a lot with Toronto is their tandem. And I think that this year, at the very least, the tandem is not of question, at least in my opinion. And then Anthony Stolarz, who I think has looked good when he's played. 18, 8, and 3, a 2.26 and a .922. So again, that tandem as a whole has been pretty solid. Like a .906 and a .922 as your combined. I think you average that out. That's a .914. I only know that because we did an Instagram post the other day. But for this overall team in this era, that's the best they've had, along with the defense core. So we'll see. This year is very telling. This year will be very telling of can this team get it done. If they end up being another first round exit and it is against a team like Ottawa, if it's against Florida or Tampa, I guess you can make the argument, especially if it goes 7, you can make the argument. But if you lose to Ottawa, a team that hasn't made the playoffs in 8 years, that's got to be the nail in the coffin for Shanahan at the very least. And we've said that on the podcast many times before, but I don't know. I really don't know, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below on the Toronto Maple Leafs. Could this be the year they break through? Yes. Could this be the year they lose in the first round again? Yes. I really don't know. Let me know your thoughts down below, though. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to like the video down below. Please do consider subscribing and join the community that we're building here on this channel. Anyways, that is it for me. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.